I wanted to have a look at this. Brandon is a good black belt and pretty good frame for you to work with. Really, really neat to watch this roll. So you're doing the right thing early on here. I like this. You got his half guard leg extended, and it's really hard for him to do anything with that foot when you've got him back like that. The catch here is we got to get his shoulders flat up here, and it's a bit of a climb on a guy like that to get up there. That's why I thought this is a good frame to work with. So now you've got his shoulders closer to flat, but now he's got his half guard hooked back into play. No, he went back to close guard. Okay. So here I was having trouble deciding what you were trying to do until you got this, and it's like, oh yeah. This is actually a very good entry for the Sao Paulo pass. Your head positioning is the only thing. See right here, you're close. So this is exactly where you want to be. This looks good. You got your head on his cheek, he can't turn his head, and he manages to get a little bit of space. It looks like he's trying to pull you back over. I can tell you're frustrating him here, which is really cool. Just go back to regular speed for a second and watch this unfold. They're going a little bit crazy. They need to get out of your way. You're rolling with a black belt. He was testing the belt grip there. It was a very brief thing, but he's trying to decide what he's going to do, and he's biding his time. Because I do believe you're giving him trouble here. He's got the belt grip with his left hand back here. Oh, he's looking for it again. He can't get this hand into play either. That's good that you got that. He's trying to lift you up onto a butterfly hook. Adam Wartzinski does that very well. Another guy with that long arm build. Yep, so that's a very simple lever. It works. You can also grab the pants, which is super obnoxious. I'm glad you grabbed the belt. Okay, and right here you've got good frames immediately. Obviously, like, you land in a rough spot on a black belt, this is going to be a tough go. He's settling in appropriately and giving you time to work. So this is a good set of frames here. So one of two different things. You want to avoid, so like this is good to stop mount from happening immediately, which he will take. But a lot of times with this much space, if you turn and face him, you can take an underhook right here with your right arm. Or you can even, like if he's overextending his head this way, you can push on his armpit and get space that way. But while you have enough space, this is your time to get out, and it's a fleeting moment with a guy like this. But I really liked your initial frames there. Yeah, it looks like he took mount anyway. What he'll do is, it's really interesting. So he'll move your arms up kind of this way, there. See how it's like kind of letting you push, and then your arm kind of drifts that way, and that opens up the space to take mount. It's a really neat trick on his part. I try to do that myself. And that's kind of what he's doing. It looks like he'll get himself in a good position over and over again. So like right there, see, he correctly grabbed your hand and took it off his knee. It's very instructive the way that he rolls. I like watching him. And he'll put you in a position until you give him the right answer. It looks like he's threatening the armbar here. Your leg work is good. It looks like you've still got the bottom of your feet on the mat. You're ready to go. You're kind of like right here. So you're reaching up here, kind of giving him the armbar, and you see he was already looking at it. And I'm pretty sure he might also be threatening the choke, which gives you a really tough choice. But what you want to do is you want to frame off of his hips and use your feet to make his hands miss whatever he's reaching for on your collar. And he continues messing with you. I'll just go back to regular speed again. So yeah, he continues messing with you until you give him the right answer. I'm going to see you flatten out your left leg and you start looking for an elbow escape. Yep, you flatten for a second, and yeah, it looks like right here you're looking there. Now you've got your hand on the hip in the right place. He recognized you gave the right answer, and he gives you another problem. Now he's back to that knee on belly spot. So it is good on occasion here to kill the space with this leg. That's not necessarily bad. I'll use that sometimes. If you can get inside his arm, you can use it to shove his shoulders down by your feet. So you've got good frames here in the way that you're working. So now, how do we get the rest of the way away? See, I like you're keeping his head away here. You're kind of dictating your space here. This is, once again, a very good set of frames. It'll be hard for him to take mount. So you're on the right track in a lot of these places. He's just giving you a very hard look, which is good. So right here is a very, very subtle thing. In this exact spot, your left hand, if you go palm towards him, kind of pinky up, and grab that collar, it's a little bit stronger frame and you'll have a better time getting space. You shrimped out, you got your guard back correctly, you have strong grips now. Yeah. Right here, he is inviting being picked up. I think what he's doing is he's seeing if you're brave enough to pick him up and seeing if he's capable of stopping you when you pick him up. And it looks like you do pick him up for a second here. I can see you kind of, yep, that's it right there. Very good. Something you can at least get used to being able to do and build your skills from there. But anytime someone is there, it's, you know, you will be eventually confident just picking him up and setting him down gently. You kind of got to roll over the top with it. Or you can helicopter armbar if you really want to get fancy, but taking him straight over the top and rolling backwards over your shoulder is the gentlest way to put him down. So let's look at the point where he got control here. I feel like you were doing really good keeping him away, and then he put his hand really close to your collar right here. What a lot of guys, a lot of black belts especially, will do is they'll grab your collar or they'll try and get their shoulder to your face right there. So you want to avoid letting him get there. So he's starting to move around, get in that area, and he just puts it there real subtly. He's not even being over dramatic about it, but now you cannot turn your head without him allowing you to. And he just keeps walking around. He's that really neat, that's another thing that the taller people can do that is difficult for me, but he can take that half guard leg, you can literally grab it and extend it. I like grabbing the pants when I am able to do that, and that makes it really, really hard to keep any kind of guard, and you have a really interesting control over the body when you take those grips. Good frame on the hip there. That's exactly what you want to do. So you're giving him right answers here. As you're able, you want to like swim your arm inside his arm right here and get that off of your face, but the hip, if you cannot get in here, the hip is a good secondary. Use your leg to get your guard back. Yeah. I like that you sit up here. That is exactly what you want to do. Everything looks very strong. From right here, I believe it's actually better to keep a butterfly hook, even if he's trying to grab at it and try and fall sideways this way. Although closed guard was a good secondary, like, I mean, I get that way too. Like if you get nervous with somebody, it's like, I better go to closed guard and then have something to launch some attacks from that you're not going to immediately get past. And those guys need to settle down. It's all right. Kurt's very new and he's catching on quick. I'll have to talk with him about that. And then this actually gave us a better view anyway of what's going on. So it looks like you have a good collar grip on him, I think. And you're isolating his sleeve on this side. This is very strong. You have a lot of good options here. A good go-to is just to push his head this way and look for omoplata. And he's going to reach with his free arm. And he's kind of giving you a correct look once again, because what you want to do whenever someone grabs your collar like that is you hide your other collar by getting distance. If he moved any other way, he's potentially giving you a collar choke. So that's why whenever someone is here, they properly do that. And as soon as he does that, he is open to be swept. You see how his weight is all on that one knee. There's no way he's stepping his right foot up. His left foot is there. So you can like take even like a crappy scissor sweep going towards this open angle over here. And it's a timing thing that you learn to sense when someone steps up right there. He steps the second foot up. And he must like this angle. This is interesting. So now he's countering you to where like you're not going to be able to pick him up. So he's preemptively looking for those angles. Yeah, because your feet never found a home in that exchange. That's a tough spot. Like you can take like a reverse De La Riva hook with this. It's like raising your leg up and snaking it up his leg up here, but I can see that he's already looking to push it down with this hand, so that's going to be a tough go with him. That's a matter of like, you know, when you hit a guy on this level, you kind of got to create subtle off balances and kind of push and pull him and make him miss his target or wherever he's trying to put his hands, because he's actually very good. Yeah. He had a black belt moment there. That's good. That means he was amping it up, producing a threat. Yep, your frames are in the right place again. That's another correct way to deal with that problem. That was good to know, right? It's kind of an old school thing. Whenever someone is, whenever you're holding side control, you can underhook that inside leg here the way that he's doing right there. And that's a strong way to put someone back flat if they're trying to turn in on you. And also if they're turtling away, you can kind of track them a little bit easier, which it doesn't look like you're close to turtling, but you know, fun fact. So this is a good time. Your leg is up, and I believe that should stop him from getting to mount right here. It's not always useful, but sometimes it is, and I think this is one of those times. And right here, you have a very strong frame on him. So this is the exact moment when you shrimp. It doesn't look like it, but he does not have the strength to stop your hips with one arm. So you can shrimp into that open space and try to get to where you can sit up actually. And he, once again, puts his weight back on your hands, starts forcing your frames out of place, and now it's much harder for you to keep your leg in the way. Goes back towards that slow neon belly creeping up towards mount position. It looks like he's taking the arm bar. Yeah, he's pretty committed to that. Does he get it? You're doing something to stop him. I think you have a collar grip to stop him from going back, maybe. He's looking for it. He's investigating switching arms. He's looking for the gift wrap. Yeah, you're giving him some trouble there. That's awesome. Yeah, really, really watch. And I don't think he takes it, but if your wrist bends here and your elbow's on the mat, a good black belt will clear you. That's a tough one. Yeah, it looks like he's looking for the other wrist. Can't tell. That is a match.